Jason Chammy here from Fitness Science. Today I'm going to talk about a simple basic movement that most people ought to be able to do as a human being, but many people have difficulty with it, and it's just a squat. So squat is lowering your center of mass with your feet side by side. There's a number of ways you can do it, but to do it optimally and most basic way, you want to stand with your feet about shoulder width apart, toed out, maybe 15 degrees. And again, lowering your center of mass. It's going to bring your arms forward as you bring your hips back and sink your hips as low as you can, keeping a neutral spine. Bring your arms forward, will counterbalance your hips, and then come straight up out of the hole. Obviously, you can load this any number of ways, but you don't have to. I'll give you a profile view. So again, sinking your hips, keeping your spine neutral relative to your pelvis. Your pelvis as deep as you can, and coming back up. Now you don't have to go that speed, that was just slowed down for demonstration purposes. Now when I say sink your hips as deep as you can, that's going to vary from person to person. So if you get to this point and then you start losing your pelvis or losing your extension through your low back, is what often happens, or your extension through your upper back, then you want to stop at that point and work on progressing that with some kind of corrective exercise. Beyond that, if you just can't really get up from even like a 90-degree knee squat, you can use just a chair or a bench to do what's called a box squat and support you at the weakest part of that movement. So I get my hips or my bum down to the box or bench, and I stand up out of that. The higher that platform, the easier the progression becomes. So if you're somebody who's a little older and wants to start to get some strength back, you can start with even like a bar stool, sit on it, come back up, sit on it, come back up, and then eventually work on that same movement away from the stool, and then go to a slightly lower platform and keep working that box squat and keep working your range in a free squat until you can get deeper and deeper. Form points that often go wrong here, myself included, is thoracic spine starts to break. And if you ever do load this and your thoracic spine's broken forward, it's going to put a lot of strain on your back, and you don't want that. So you want to be able to have normal extension, neutral spine, and try to keep things that way all the way to the bottom of your range and come back up. Those are some basic form points on a squat.